So UFC fight number 3, how's just you adjust to the process every time? Do you just feel more and more comfortable every time you do this at this point?
Yeah, I think, especially with the TUF house, that really helped me acclimate, and then kind of getting into the cage without so much tension. But it being my 3rd fight, there's still a little bit of, nervousness here and there, and that comes with anything in life. But, I'm just really happy to be able to go right back into another fight, right back into another camp, and I really enjoy being active. I feel like I'm very optimal athletic wise, when I'm working all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And how much confidence did that last one give you to go in there, get a 1st round knockout, and just, I'm sure that did a lot for you, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a confidence boost, and it's also one of those things where it's like, all right, I gotta work harder, and people expect more out of you at that point,
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So how did this opportunity come along? Obviously you weren't originally scheduled for this card. How much notice did you have?
Yeah.
Was there any real hesitation about taking this fight, or when they called you, was it right away?
So coach called me around April 4th, April 3rd. So it was about 4 weeks out. And he's like, you think you can make the weight and do this and that? And I was like, I really want to get back in there. And I was like, I'll do whatever it takes to get ready for this fight. And, we really wanted a quick turnaround and perfect timing.
So, I mean, you seem like the type of fighter who's just kind of always training, always prepared. But
Yeah.
what do you do when you have that confined window and you just have to prepare for a fight in about a month or so?
So it's kind of like, besides the house, fighting back to back, this has been the fastest I've kind of been back into, professional fights. So it definitely has had it's been super intense because we're trying to mash so much training and prep in 4 weeks, and that's really not enough time for you to take a day off and recover and this and that, and I usually only have 1 off day during the week, but I was continuously training throughout the week. And it does get a little bit stressful, but I really enjoy that. I really enjoy the fact that my coach puts me through all these mental and physical stress factors, because it allows me to grow, mentally and physically, as far in my career and in the cage.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It seems like, talking to your coach, he said that it seems like your strength and conditioning is a really big part of your development here, and trying to kind of figure out your identity as a fighter. Just talk a little bit about, your process there and kind of what you're focusing on.
For sure. So I have a really great strength and conditioning coach, and he also works with the UFC PI with my nutrition along the way. So it's Mike Chiasson is his name, and he owns Extreme Studio Performance. All the professional UFC fighters, we all train together in the morning, and he's got a great relationship with the UFC PI, and he talks to them several times a week. And he also talks to my coaches, so there's that relationship between everyone to where everyone is on the same page, and it's not just me overtraining in one session and then going here later on and them not knowing how hard I trained in the morning, so everyone has a good relationship to where they can call each other and say, hey, she was feeling this way this morning, let's do this tonight, so they have really good communication aspects, and I think that's a really big, deal as far as, professional fighter goes. But I couldn't ask for a better team. I mean, everyone is just so invested in each other, and Mike has really brought me to a new level, and I'm so excited to take a few days off after this fight, but then go back and work on getting my numbers better. Yeah. So there's always a goal that we're trying to work for.
Yeah, and I know at Fortis they don't just let anyone through the door there. It's kind of a particular type of identity, particular type of fighter that
very
they want
particular,
there.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
For you, I mean, it seems like a very kind of, like you said, their family environment. Everyone's very close. Like how, who do you work with in terms of sparring partners? Do you go with, other girls there? Is there mostly the guys? Who do you kind of work with on that front?
So we have a lot of 35ers, and I usually work with Miles Johns. He's a 35er. It's up and coming. He'll be on the Contender Series in June. Great wrestler. He always gives me good rounds. But we do have Deborah Kuzman. She's from France. She's French. She's a little smaller, but she gives me good rounds as well. And then we have Bea, who just came in.
Yeah.
I talked to coach a little bit, and he decided, let's bring in another big 35er. It'd be good work for both of us. And she's 6 feet tall. I mean, she's a big girl, and it's really good work for me. So I've had really great training partners for this camp, and looking forward into the future, I'm gonna have awesome camps from now on.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned Bay. Like, obviously, you guys have the pre-existing relationship there too. What's it been like having her in the camp and everything, and how she helped you in this particular program?
Yeah, so she, you know, she was a big asset to me in the house. She helped me with a lot of stuff, and we always had this really awesome competitiveness, you know, where it's like, all right, like, I'm ready to go. Like, we're ready, you know, like, we won't talk to each other, and then like we'll spar, or we'll do this or that, and then after we're like, all right, it's all good, you know. But that's kind of like, that's the mindset at Fortis, you know. Everyone's in there, we're in there to work, you know. No one's in there to be friends at the moment, even though we're all friends and we all love each other, you know. But the environment that coach has really set for us is just like, it's unlike any other. I mean, I have never experienced it at any other gym. And we all walk in there, we look at each other right in the eyes, and we're like, you're gonna die today, you know. And it's like that every single practice. It's like that every single practice, and it's super important. But, you know, after practice, we all put our hands up together, and, you know, and we focus on making each other better, and it's just such an awesome atmosphere.
Yeah, that definitely seems like a great environment. And, you know, in terms of preparing for this fight and the actual matchup, what do you make of Sarah? I mean, how much, you obviously only had a few weeks to scout her, but what have you learned in that time? Yeah,
I mean, Sarah's been around for a while. You know, she was on the Ultimate Fighter 19, and she's a veteran. You know, she's been in the UFC for a while. So she's not someone to just sit on, you know. So we definitely have prepped the right way for her. She's got good jiu-jitsu, you know, as do I. And, you know, I think, you know, as far as that goes, like, the jiu-jitsu definitely matches up pretty well. But, you know, within 4 weeks, believe it or not, we've done a lot. We've done a lot. So I'm really looking forward to showing, you know, what we've done in the last few weeks.
Yeah, and especially for you being such a young fighter, you know, not a ton of experience, you're just trying to kind of build and build and build. But when you look ahead at, you know, this year, you win this fight, you kind of go beyond there. What kind of goals do you set for yourself at like this stage in your career?
So, you know, we set a goal for my debut was to get ranked. You know, we got ranked, and top 10, 5, and then, you know, from there on out, you kind of see what we're getting at. But, you know, we have a checklist, and we're just going through down the line, checking it off.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like when you kind of look, because I feel like there's not a ton of gap between breaking into the rankings and then, you know, being at the very top in this division. It's only a handful of wins right there. So how do you know, strike that balance of trying to do everything you can to be prepared to do it the right way, but not getting rushed into maybe an opportunity that's too much too soon? Right,
exactly. I think it's just taking the right routes, you know, and just making sure that we're being smart about things. But I mean, as of right now, you know, the way in the last 4 weeks, the way I've been peaking, I mean, we don't really see too much of a downfall fighting those people. So, you know, we're willing to climb that mountain and keep working up.
Awesome, and I mean, obviously a big win here does a lot in that front. How do you kind of see yourself winning this fight when you know, try to picture your perfect scenario there?
Like I always say, I always see a finish. You know, I always see a finish. Specific things that we've been working on that have been landing real well in rounds. But you never know. Fights go 50-50. It could go through rounds. I mean, I've seen that girl in several of her fights get dropped, and she kept going. You know, but then again, she hasn't fought someone like me. So